Hi everybody, it's Cindy here. I'm just recording your July in color class. This month's color is Moody Mauve, and we have two projects tonight. So I'll jump right to the screen, and that way you can join along. Okay, so in your envelope, you are going to have a couple pieces here. Sorry, I just cut mine. So you're going to have a piece of Moody Mauve that is your card base. You're going to have a smaller piece of Moody Mauve. You're going to have your white, and you are going to have a big piece of white, small piece of white, and then you're going to have a piece of Designer Series paper. Okay, so we're actually, and actually you're going to have another little piece right here that is actually scored for you as well. Okay, so you should have all those bits in your first package. This card we are actually going to build from the inside out. It's a little different of a card, so we're just going to go ahead and build it inside out. So for this one, what I need to do is I need to find some glue that actually has glue in it. And, excuse me, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this piece of Moody Mauve, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adhere my glue onto the back. And I'm going to find the center of my card. I'm just going to eyeball mine. So I want my card to open from the left. So I'm just going to put this on the left. And I'm just going to eyeball it in the center here. And if you can hear noise, it's my dog. She's at my feet and she's snoring. Okay, so now your white piece is going to go in here. So for this one, I actually used the two-tone Flora is what I used for mine. And I used these two stamps here. So I'm going to take the group of flowers and then the center, and I'm going to grab a block, and what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take my Moody Mauve, I'm going to grab just a piece of scrap, I guess that's what I'll use, and I'm going to stamp off. Okay, so I'm doing this because I want a second generation ink, is what we call this, and I'm going to actually just put this just down here in this corner here. Okay, and then I'm going to take another block and I'm going to take the centers and I'm going to go full power on this one. I'm going to line this up and I'm doing my centers. Okay, and then for my card, I'm making this a happy birthday card, so I'm going to go ahead and bring in my happy birthday stamp, and this one I'm using is from Something Fancy is the stamp set. It's one of my favorite font stamp sets because it's, I'll show it to you there, Something Fancy. It's a really great one if you're looking for a word set. So I'm just going to put this into my ink pad and just in the center of my card, I'm just doing my happy birthday. Okay, so I'm done with this part. I'm going to close up my ink pad because I know I'll put my fingers into it. So I'm going to then bring in my white, and I can go ahead and glue this down now. So this is going to be the inside of my card. So I'm gluing this down. Okay. And then I'm going to take this piece of Moody Mauve, and what I want to do is I actually want to put my glue on my flap. You don't want to put your glue on here because if you do, you're going to glue the whole thing down. So you're going to put it onto your flap, and what you want to do is center this top and bottom and side to side. Okay, and then you're going to get your Design Series paper, and this is going to be your next layer. So I think I'll do the hearts for mine. So I'm going to put this down in the center. And I'll bring in, here's my block here. I was looking for all my blocks. And then I'm going to bring in my Something Fancy stamp set again. It says, I didn't forget your birthday. I'm just stretching out the celebration. One of my favorite stamps from this set. I like those really funny sentiments. Okay, so I'm just going to move this out of the way for a second. I'm going to bring in my white. So I'm going to go full ink on this one. And then those flowers that I just stamped, I'm just going to grab my scrap out of the garbage that I just threw. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go full, and I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to go on this corner, and then I'm going to go full, stamp off, and then I'm going to go in this corner. And then I will do my centers. Can you hear my dog? Oh my gosh, he's so loud. And then I will go center here. And then you could put your rhinestones in the center of your flowers, right? So then this is just going to go in the center of your card. It's a super simple card, but it's just so pretty. I like these fun fold type ones. Still standard card, just a little bit different, right? And then there is your card. Okay, so that's card number 1, done. Card number 2, I'm just going to move this all out of the way. I'll clean these all afterwards. Okay, so card number 1 is done. Card number 2 is a really super fun fold. It's a little bit, it's a little different than something you've probably seen before. So you have this piece of cardstock that looks like I messed up on cutting. So I want, this is going to be my fold, so I want my fold on the right hand side, but you can pick whichever side you want your fold to go on. And again, we are going to build this from the outside or inside out. So then you're going to have this piece here, and this is from the Countryside In Dies, as well as this piece here. And you'll have a piece of Designer Series paper, which I just realized I forgot to cut myself a piece of. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this Moody Mauve that I have scored for you. So you're going to fold that on your score line. Again, you're going to adhere your glue. And then you're actually going to put this on the opposite side of where this big flap is, okay? And again, you just want to center it. So I'm going to center that there. So making sure it's lined up evenly on the top and the bottom. Okay, now I did not put any sentiments on the inside of my card, but we're going to go ahead and put your white piece on the inside. So if you want a sentiment on the inside of your card, now would be the time to do it. I would suggest you do that before you glue it down, just because if you mess up, then at least you have an opportunity to turn it over and fix it. Okay, so putting the white piece inside covers up this so that it's a little bit nicer. And then your Designer Series paper, let me just see, I have to grab my paper cutter. I wonder if this is too small, shoot. So I need a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is going to be 3 inches by 4 inches. Okay, let me just grab my paper trimmer. 3 by 4 is what I need. So let me just cut this really super quick. My apologies, I thought I had this done. 4 by 3. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to put our Designer Series paper on the front flap. Okay, so Designer Series paper on, my glue's dying on me here, on the front flap. And now this piece, that's the hardest part of your card. So now this piece here, what we're going to do, I'm going to move that out of the way for a second, is I'm using the Irresistible Bloom set, and I'm going to use a thank you and the flower in the leaves, but you can use whatever you want. Actually, I probably won't do the flowers and the leaves for the purpose of the video, because you can decorate your card however you see fit. Just a couple things I'll show you here super duper quick. So when you go to stamp your sentiment, just make sure that you are stamping it the same way as your card is cut, right? Because if you stamp it this way, it's not going to work out so well. So you want to make sure your angles are going the right direction. So I'm going to stamp this with a thank you. Make sure this is, yeah, okay, thank you. And then I'm actually going to bring in the splatter from the Irresistible Blooms because I like the splatter. I find that this is a little too stark for me, this white. So if I bring this splatter in, and then I'm just going to fill in some of the white here. And I just find it just gives it a little bit more dimension. Now on my card, I'll show you my original card once I get this glued down. You can continue to decorate it how you see fit, but so go ahead and glue this one down. This. So again, centering side to side, top to bottom. And when this closes, this is going to close first and then this one. So your card opens like this. Okay, isn't this fun? So here's my original card. So I did add the flower from the Irresistible Blooms and the leaves on this one. Okay, so you can decorate it however you want. You can leave it like this if you want. Just be aware that when you go to put this in your envelope, you want to make sure it doesn't go off your card. Okay, that would be the only thing. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed those. And next month I think is boho blue because I think it was on back order last time. So if you have any questions about that, let me know, and happy creating. Bye.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a